guys. How are you?
Hey.
I am Belize, and this is
Crystal.
We are the queens of herpes. we did come up with
queens of herpes.
Herpes. So with that being said, guys, I'm excited to be back here with Crystal. As y'all can see, she's at my house, and we're in blankets because it is freezing.
It's freezing. We just came out the rain.
So happy Memorial Weekend or week or day or whatever you want to call it. I appreciate everybody who watched my videos, who served in the military, parents who served, or going into service. So I appreciate you guys. I did want to serve in the military myself, but I ended up having my son, so I decided not to go. Did you think about going to the military?
I have narcolepsy, so they wouldn't take me if I wanted to.
Wow.
I never had a desire, but I guess if there was ever a draft, they probably still wouldn't take me. Y'all, I think it's best that I didn't serve in the military. Y'all couldn't put me like on watch duty or anything. I'll go to sleep. So
we've been dead.
It wouldn't work out. For everybody's safety, I'm not allowed to serve.
Good. While we're even talking about that, since it is, about our individuals who serve, I want to kind of bring this up really quick, which, as we know in the title of this video, is not about that. But I know a lot of people who say they want to go to the military, and they freak out thinking, oh my God, I have herpes, so I can't go to the military. I'm sorry. It will not stop you from going to the military. And this may sound kind of crazy, but a lot of my clients are in the military and they have herpes. So with that being said, I don't want you to think like, oh my God, I cannot get it, things like that. If you're really scared, just ask your recruiter. I know that's not something you want to tell somebody, but I'm telling you, it's not going to affect you at all. A lot of my ladies in my group have herpes and just went to the military or found out in the military. So with that being said, don't freak out. You can still go to the military.
Yeah, and also another one of those kind of unspoken things that goes on.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it happens a lot. It happens a whole lot, and people just don't talk about it at all. But yeah, you can go to the military. I don't want you to think you cannot. So if that been one of your goals, that's your career goal, then go right ahead, sign up, do your basic, and go right ahead. And I appreciate you for doing it because somebody do. So today we're talking about
celibacy.
Yes,
dating and being single.
And have herpes.
Having herpes.
So this one is good because Crystal been in the game a little bit longer than me for the celibacy. And a lot of people don't like talking about this. Number one, as y'all know, we are Christians. So, that's kind of like a part of your lifestyle or any other religion. Most religions are.
I was going to say, even with our faith, it's still a very, very taboo topic.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody, I feel like sex is a taboo topic, period.
Like, don't talk about
people
sex.
Are like, oh my gosh, love Jesus. Don't talk about sex. So like throw the cross on you.
And we're doing it anyway, sadly to say.
Well, I feel like with our faith, the biggest problem is people are just like, don't have sex until you're married. Mm-hmm. And they don't tell you
why.
And then they don't tell you the how. How is big. Because when I decided to do celibacy, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it, but how?
Yeah, especially after doing it. After being in the game and then getting out the game. It's kind of hard.
We're going to get real with y'all today.
It's really hard to kind of say, I'm just going to stop it.
Right.
No,
cold turkey
thing is hard to do. So we really want to talk about that because I know so many ladies and guys find out they get herpes. They become celibate, which let's talk about that. What's the difference between celibate and abstinent? It's a big difference.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Because I love y'all. I love people dearly, but that is really something that irks me. I think being in the celibacy game, and for me, because it's something that's so personal to me, it does bother me. So let's educate some. Celibacy, abstinence. Let's put it like that. Abstinence is simply just the decision. Light went out. There we go. The decision to not have sex. Mm-hmm. It's just abstinence means abstaining. To abstain from sex. Period. It doesn't necessarily have to have a time limit on it. It's just not having sex. Mm-hmm. It's just saying I'm going to. You can abstain. You can be abstinent from anything. Realistically, we use the word abstinence for sex mostly, but I can abstain from watching TV. I can abstain from eating fried chicken. I cannot wait for this fried chicken, y'all.
Yes, we're not eating chicken at the moment.
Chicken at the moment. Oh Jesus! When I get to that chicken, we're not eating meat at all. But it's just the decision not to do it. It's abstaining from it. It's removal of that thing. Celibacy is more of a commitment. It is specifically not having sex until marriage.
Until marriage. So, if you never get married, you're not having sex.
Until marriage, right. So, I have committed to being celibate. And till marriage. It's basically abstinence until marriage. So it's adding that extra piece on there. So it's like, I'm committed to celibacy. So, whether God decides to bless me with a husband tomorrow or 20 years from now or never,
I'll never have sex
again. Then sex won't come until I get that husband. Lord, Lord's going to work with me.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a difference. It's just
there's a difference.
Yeah, celibacy has an end destination and abstinence do not.
Abstinence doesn't have a destination point or goal to it at all.
You don't have a purpose.
Celibacy, it doesn't have a purpose, really.
Yeah, it don't have a purpose.
Celibacy to me is a lifestyle.
It is.
I think when people think about being celibate, even when, saying, okay, I'm not going to have sex until marriage, they don't realize that it's a lot more than just deciding to not have sex. It's a lifestyle.
It's not even about the marriage piece. Talk about that.
Right. Okay. So things nobody told me about celibacy. Jesus Lord.
I learned these things from her, y'all.
Right. Nobody told me. For those of you who are either celibate, considering celibacy, or just want to know about it, nobody told me that celibacy was not an exchange program for marriage. It's not like a foreign exchange program where you switch students in different countries. It does not work like that. You don't go, hey God, I'm gonna stop having sex, and in return, you're gonna give me a husband or a wife.
It doesn't work like that.
If that's what you're in it for, I hate to break it to you.
You're gonna be so pissed.
You are gonna be disappointed a lot. You're gonna be pissed off. You're gonna have meltdowns. You're gonna throw temper tantrums.
You're gonna backslide.
You're gonna backslide because it's really a heart posture. It has to be because and there you have to find your why in it. You really do. Just like anything, like a lot of people do network marketing, and in network marketing they always tell you to find your why for your business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is that thing that's driving you to succeed in your business? Find your why. Is it going to school? Sorry, y'all. Is it going to school? Is it starting your own business? Is it buying a house or a car? Same thing with something. You have to find your why. Mm-hmm. Why are you doing this? What is your purpose behind it?
What is your purpose, Crystal?
I have a lot of purposes behind it. So that goes back to the whole it's not a foreign exchange program thing, because I'm not going to lie to y'all. When I started, that was my why. I was like, okay, God, I'm going to stop, and you will give me a husband. And he was like, ha! Okay, let's roll with that. But there were also a lot of things that made me decide to walk into that lifestyle. I was very promiscuous. I had a past. So there were... There we go. I did get to a point... Sorry, I was like, he's going down. I did get to a point where I was just like, something has to change. For me, my celibacy changed my life. I always tell people, herpes changed my life. Celibacy saved my life. Mm-hmm. So for me, celibacy was truly one of those things that saved my life. I was out here doing a lot of things I shouldn't have been doing, and I was putting myself in a lot of dangerous situations. And I think I got tired of. I was trying to fill a void that was unfillable. It was just kind of like a cycle. Like at some point, you just realize you're just doing it just to do it, and you don't even know if you like it. I got tired of faking it, y'all. I'm gonna be real. I got tired of faking it. When you get to the point where you're having sex and you don't even know if you're enjoying it or not, we got a problem.
Most people do that anyway.
Right. So I got tired of going. It was just I realized it wasn't worth it.
It's going to emotions, really.
I had miscarriages, so that was another reason behind it. I realized I can't get pregnant if I don't have sex. That was a big drive for me. I had 3, so for me that was a biggie. And it was about my relationship with God. I had gotten to a point where I was willing to submit and be obedient, and this was one of the areas of my life that He was really laying on my heart to be obedient in. Like,
so it's like, you can't come over here. Like, everything else you can have.
Right.
But
so
this part
I'm in
is
this
mine.
space where, like, okay, God, I want to live for you. I want to do this. And He's like, okay, cool. Quit having sex. I'm like, wait.
I'll come back.
That's not what I said. I said, I want to live for you, and I want to serve people, and I want to be like Christ. He's like, quit having sex. And I'm like, but again,
that's not what I asked for.
That's not what I asked you for. Like,
I didn't say not that part.
Right. I'm going to stop cussing. I'm not going to cuss her out today. Like the girl at McDonald's made me mad. I ain't going to cuss her out, God. I thought that was progress, and it was. But, baby steps. But I was willing to do all these things and give all these things up and say, hey, God, I want to live for you. And I wasn't willing to submit that one area of my And that was the particular area that he kept laying on my heart. And I was actually in a relationship when I decided to be celibate. That was part of the reason.
Oh, that's really hard to do when you're in a relationship.
That was the one area that I was not willing to submit to because I know it was going to require me to make a lot of changes.
It was going to require you to end your relationship, typically.
It did require me to end my relationship in the end. Yes, it did.
Yeah, most times you will, and I'm going to put this out here. If you and your partner are having sex right now, and you're being convicted to not do it, it lets you know that that's not the person for you. And I know that sucks because you're like, oh, we're engaged.
Well, I will say this. If you're being, the conviction should be on both ends.
Sometimes it's not.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. If you're being convicted to not have sex with them, and they're saying this is okay, then chances are y'all are not on the same page. You're unequally yoked. Mm-hmm. Period. I think when we think about unequally yoked, we think about, are you a believer or not a believer?
That's it's deeper than that.
Much deeper.
It's all about do y'all think the same way? Do you have the same mindset?
Are y'all in the same space? Or I hate to say level, but I mean realistically, that's what it is. In your walk, so you can be a believer and I'm a believer, and this is not to say that you can't, that people on, I guess, in different walks with Christ can't be together, because I've seen it work.
Oh yeah.
But have you talked to God about that? Is the biggest thing, because I do know people who have dated someone who was either didn't know Christ or just came to him, and they like running for Jesus.
Yeah, but that was a clear call for their relationship.
That was a clear call for their relationship, and it really is about what type of relationship are they willing, and what type of relationship do they desire with Christ? Because if I'm, frontline soldier for Jesus on the field, and you are like, I mean, I know him, but I ain't really with all that celibacy.
So you're doing too much.
When they be like, oh, you just too holy. If you get that, that's not the person for you.
Yeah, it's not the person. And I'm not saying it's not forever, but sometimes you need to step away and for them to know, okay, this is what I believe in. You have to respect that the same way I would respect something that you believe in. And sometimes you just need separation. I know people who have separated and then they got back together and they both were where they need to be. So I think sometimes we just got to understand you have to put what you believe in at the forefront to get that person to even get to where you are. Especially if they want to be with you, they're going to get to where you are. Especially if y'all both believers. That person just need to probably be by themselves and enjoy, quote unquote, their single life and figure out why they're not even bothered. Because I don't want y'all to think y'all don't. I know everybody on here have been bothered. Now, if you don't push and suppress it for so long, now you're trying to act like it don't bother you, but you lay up in the bed and then you turn around and you be like...
Right. I think we've all had those moments. I should have did that. Those moments when you roll over and you be like...
What was
I thinking?
It's like, why did I do that? It was great, but
not even
sometimes
when you roll over and you be like, you want to slap yourself.
Yes, it was just like, why? And we all have those thoughts. Even if you're saying you're pushing it off or you're not affected, that's a lie, because the Holy Spirit is going to always convict you. Especially when it's something they know you shouldn't be doing. You know what you should and should not be doing, and it's not something like, oh my God, I'm just gonna quit. It's like smoking cigarettes. It takes a minute. It takes a minute. It's like being on a drug.
It is a drug. We're gonna talk about that too. Sex is a drug. People get addicted to all types of things. People get addicted to alcohol, cigarettes, crack, heroin, gaming.
Social media.
Yeah, social media, shopping,
makeup,
hair, anything, gambling, anything can be in it. And too much of anything is accepted, and it's not bad
good
for you.
And quote unquote bad.
Right. People get addicted to exercise. Even things that are good for you can be bad for you.
Oh yeah. You see people who are muscle builders and they just go over the top and you don't see anything.
You start pumping stuff in here, but yeah.
Yeah, they just over.
Anything is too much. And same thing for sex. Sex is my addiction. So yeah, going from that to being celibate was a huge transition. Still a transition.
How long have you been celibate?
I have been celibate. What are we in? May?
Mm-hmm.
I've been celibate since 2015. November of 2015.
How have it been? Like
it has been a ride, y'all. I'm not gonna sugarcoat for y'all. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, when you get to this side of the fence,
lies.
You know, sugar plums and fairies and gold rains down from heaven. Lies from the pits of hell. I'm not gonna scare y'all out of it either, but
no, we're not gonna lie to you either.
But we're not gonna lie to you because I do feel like that was the issue for me when I decided to be celibate. It was something that I did for myself, but I did not know what I was walking into because I didn't have anybody to tell me. And then the few things that I did see, like I have some people that I really looked up to, but I didn't have anybody who was on this side of the fence. Mm-hmm. Either the people who I was talking to were either had been celibate for a very long time, or were celibate and engaged on their way to getting married or married, or had never had sex.
You never really, even when you do hear from people who do, they still don't tell the full truth.
The ones that I told, they were slightly transparent. I mean, they shared, they would say, okay, so I just like how I gave y'all that vague definition. I had a past. I was a little bit, that is what I got. We're going to give y'all the real a little bit. But that is what I got. And as great as that is, for somebody who was in the position that I was in, that's not telling me anything. It does not make me feel any better.
I don't feel like you can relate to me.
I don't feel like you can relate to me.
It's like you don't have my same story. That means you had a couple of people.
Right, because
you had a couple of boyfriends.
Thing that comes to my mind is, well, what's your definition of promiscuous?
Because some people think it's 2. Some people think it's 3.
Some people, it's like, if it's less than, if I couldn't count them on one hand, oh my gosh, I was a slut. Like, it's just, everybody's definition of what being promiscuous is different. So for me, I was just like, you a holy roller. You don't know what you're talking about. You probably never even had sex that much. You might have had it a couple times with a boyfriend or two, but it wasn't something that was important to you. Like, this was, I took it from the standpoint of, this was easy for you to give up. You don't get it. You don't understand. Mm-hmm. So things that nobody tells you about celibacy is not easy. And it's not something that's done overnight. It's not a cakewalk. If sex was something that's very important to you, you go through withdrawal. If sex was something that wasn't important to you, you go through withdrawal. Just on different levels. But
what does all do celibacy include? Some people think it's just sex, intercourse. No, baby, it's everything.
Okay, so let's cover.
let's break
cover
that
down.
down.
Okay, so another difference between abstinence and celibacy. Most people, when they think of abstinence when it comes to sex, simply they mean penetration. For the most part, that's what they mean. Every once in a while, you'll hear somebody include oral sex. But for the most part, when people say I'm abstinent, they just mean they're not penetrating nothing.
But they having oral sex.
We all know that you can do a whole lot without penetration. There's toys out here. People got
fingers,
toes, mouths, and all types of other body parts that they use, and whatever else they can find in their house and in the store. So, celibacy excludes all that. So when I say that I'm celibate, I don't have sex, I don't masturbate, and no sex in any form. There is no penetration. There is no oral sex. There is no hand jobs. There is no masturbation. Doors. There is no porn.
None. Nothing.
We shut it all the way down.
Like dry.
Like nothing.
So hard.
It's difficult. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. There are days. No.
We're friends for real.
We're friends for real because there are days where I
have to call each other.
When I called you, I was like, help me.
Oh yeah, we were going through a season where men were in our lives.
Men were just like in our face.
And it was really difficult.
This man was fine. And I'm like balled up in a car seat, like on the phone, like, help me.
He was looking good that day.
I was like, he smells so good. It's hard, y'all. It's hard.
It's not something that, and that's the thing. I feel like it was necessary for us to come over here and talk about this because Christian women do not talk about it. And then also, when you have herpes, it seems like, okay, now it's really hard to talk about because I got this when I was having sex, or quote unquote was in sin or, sinning. So now it's really something difficult to talk about, and I don't want to talk about it. And I want to be honest with you. You're going to meet guys who like, oh, you got herpes, cool. But you say you celibate, they say, oh, heck no.
Honestly,
you can't do both.
Y'all want to know the truth? So so like how she said, with it being hard, especially as such a woman, when I decided to be celibate, I had decided to be celibate right before I found out I had herpes. Mm-hmm. So I took it as punishment. I'm not gonna lie, like I thought herpes was punishment, and I don't know how y'all talk to God, but like we have this really, really close, like people be like, "Do you really talk to him like that?" Relationship? Yeah, that's my homie. So when I got herpes, I was like,
really?
For real? Like, this is what we doing now? Like, I was really having, like, a complete temper tantrum at my house. I was like, I'm being good. I don't shut the whole cookie cake box down. Like, I don't delete numbers out of my phone. I ain't even been on a date. I could have had him. I could have had, I was tripping. Like, I done did everything you told me to. I'm not having sex. I'm not doing none of this. And I get herpes. So I took it as punishment. I thought that herpes was punishment for everything that I had done. And so when it came to my celibacy, to me, because my heart wasn't right about my celibacy and my reason for doing it, because most of my reasons were selfish, I took it as a slap in the face from God. I'm going to be 1,000% transparent. I felt like you spit in my face.
Mine was a little different. So, like, I rededicated my life my freshman year with my roommate, matter of fact. So I rededicated my life, and we went back to doing what we need to, doing whatever we wanted to do, basically. Quote unquote, right words, needed to do. That's how we felt like we needed to do those things to kind of just feel void. So I ended up going to Auburn. Like, me and her separated. I went to go to Auburn, and I was like, oh God, I gotta get my life together. Like, I don't have my accountability partner. Like, I don't have the person who kind of like, you don't need to be doing that or whatever. So I was like, this is hard. And then soon as I ended up having sex with somebody, and I was getting it in. I was going back to Tuskegee and everything for it, okay? And I met somebody, and y'all know my story. I went back. I met somebody in Auburn, and I ended up having sex with him, and I found out, and I was like, he was like, and to me, I felt like he was like, I keep trying to tell you.
Well, see,
I keep trying to tell you. And you keep on, and you keep on, and you keep on. And that's just how I felt. Like she said, she felt like it was punishment for just doing everything. For me, it was just more of a, you just decided you wanted to live for me for real, for real.
Well, I felt like it was punishment for doing everything, but I had already committed to celibacy and I broke it.
Oh, you left that out?
Yeah. So that's
hold on, don't be leaving out information. Okay. You know how I feel about that.
My bad, y'all. I'm sorry. So I have been consistently celibate since November of 2015. I give myself celibacy November 1st. I'm sorry, 2nd of 2015. But that year, 2014 actually, when I moved home, I had cut. At the end of the year, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. So God had been on me about celibacy since the whole year before. I was in a relationship, and I brought it up to him and was like, hey, I'm thinking about being celibate. How do you feel about this? And he was like,
we ain't giving this up.
He just looked at it. He didn't say a word, y'all. I was like, okay, it's probably not going to work here. And I wasn't ready to let go. I was like, okay.
I wouldn't be in a relationship still.
And I just kind of like dibbled and dabbled, and I kept bringing the conversation up, and he was just like, it's not something I'm really looking to do. And I wasn't really to let that go. Even though I knew I should have. Lord knows that was a mess. But I was I was purposely being disobedient to what I was being told to do. So because I did not want to let that relationship go. And I knew that in that particular relationship, if I took sex off the table,
there was no relationship.
There was no relationship. That was our relationship. Realistically,
he's like, we have nothing.
We don't have anything if we didn't have sex. Realistically, that was the gist of the situation. So I was like, I can't take this off the table. It won't survive. So it wasn't until I moved home and was out of that relationship that I decided to be celibate. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I did it for like 4 months, y'all. I was like, by the end of month 4, I broke. And when I broke. I think I did more damage in 6 months.
She went in.
I went in, y'all. Like, when I finally broke my celibacy, and I did feel bad the first time, but obviously not bad enough. Honestly, I felt bad, but it was like, the damage is done now.
Just keep going.
So it was, to me, in my head, it was like, oh my gosh, I broke my celibacy. and not understanding grace at the time, I was like, damn, it's just done. Ain't no turning back. I did it now. I might as well go full force with it. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it all the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my mom didn't raise me to have to stuff. So if I'm gonna do it, if I'm gonna, you know, like if you're gonna lie to me, lie for real. Put an effort into it. Like don't half lie. Don't, you know, make up something really good and believable. That's how I felt about breaking my celibacy. If I was gonna break it, I wasn't just gonna dibble and dabble and like, oh God, I broke it. I got some head. Like no, I was going in, and that's exactly what I did. And I did that all the way up until I did it for like 6.5, 7 months until November, and then that's when I decided, okay, I'm gonna do this for real. And so, like I said, I felt like it was a slap in the face, but I also felt like it was punishment, and I kind of felt like it was God's way of making sure that I had no choice but to be celibate for real this time around. In the beginning, knowing that I still have a choice, I have free will, but at the time I didn't see it that way. He was like, "Oh, okay, well since you broke it last time, I'm gonna put this here to make sure you don't do it again." That's how I felt.
It was like a thorn. Like, hey,
yeah, it was like a
reminder. It was a reminder.
Because he knows that because when I got herpes, to me, my thing was I didn't want to expose anybody. Even whether they knew or not, I wasn't comfortable with it because I hadn't accepted it yet. So to me, I felt like God was like, I'm gonna put this here because I know you have a conscience. So I'm gonna make it's like this thing that make you feel bad every time you want to have sex.
I didn't have that. Like, I mean, that's the situation. I felt like it was punishment big time. And then I kept doing it. I'm not gonna lie. I still was just doing, even after finding out I had herpes, I was still getting it in. I'm not gonna lie. I was ding, 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 ding. I didn't even care. Until I met a guy that I really, really liked. And by then, I was really involved in church by then. I had rededicated it again after I had my son. Okay, so I ended up getting pregnant. And by then, I was like, okay, I want to be a mom. Oh, no, life got to change. Yeah. Like, it got to change now because now he's going to be watching me. So I rededicated my life, and then I met a guy. We ended up having sex, truth be told, we did. But I started going to this ladies group on my campus, and I was just like, okay, I got to stop doing this. Like, this, by then, I'm really learning about grace. I'm really learning about what God wants me. Hey! So I was really learning. I was really learning what God did for us. You know, before we go to church, and sometimes you really don't know that until you get somewhere that they're really breaking the Bible down and you're learning for yourself as well. So by that time, I was like, you know what? I don't want to do it anymore. And he looked at me like, I ain't on that yet. No, I'm just not on that yet. And I was like, I like you.
Right.
You know, like, I like you. You know, I can see this going somewhere. And he was like, I'm just not on that yet. I'm not in a predicament. So I kind of just stopped talking to him. I like cold turkey stopped talking to him. And it was hard because I really liked him, whatever. And then we started talking again. And we had sex. And I bawled. I cried. He was just like, are you okay? I was like, no, this is so wrong. He was like, breathe. Like, after that, he was just like, it was bad. It was really bad. And he was like, let me get off of her because this is bad. And after that, I went home and I told, like, my Bible leader, like, who was over the group. And she was like, it's okay. We all mess up, things like that. I was like, okay, I'm out of this. Messed around. I'm not back in the game again. Just getting it all over again. I was like, whatever. I was like, Crystal, it's like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. You know, and I was still going to the groups and things like that. But I was like, we were all of us was falling apart by then. Because it was just like, yeah, you're told not to do it. But it's just like, you need to know why you're not doing it. It's not about a husband, y'all. As much as y'all think it is, it's not about getting married. It's so not. Really, if you really read the word, and, you know, Paul talks about being single. Single is way more vital than being married. And a lot of people's like, well, marriage. But I said at the end of the day, your singleness, you get to really serve God and do the things you need to do without worrying about anything. I have been married. When you're a married woman, all you focus on is your children, your household, and your husband. Like, literally, that's all you worry about. Yeah, God's in it, but at the end of the day, you're there to serve him. You're his helpmate. Okay, you're your children's mother. You're your house setting. Like, literally, you set everything around you. So you don't worry about anything else. But when you're single, you don't worry about nobody but you and whatever God keep telling you to do each and every day. And that's why it's very vital in your singleness to not be entangled with something required for another group of people to keep them together. Sex keep you together. It is a bond. It's bondage to a certain extent. It sounds weird. It's bondage. It keeps you linked. It keeps it's the whole thing about, you know, that people freak out about that. But after me getting married and I realized sex kept us like that. When we wasn't having sex, we were just like, ah! When we did it, it was just like, ah. It was worship. It's kind of crazy.
It is worship.
But it's worship.
And that's why, you know, people be like, you know, arguments get settled. you forget sometimes what you arguing about. Sometimes y'all both just be stressed out and you be like, just shut up and worship. Just do this.
And it fixes it.
And it fixes it.
At that moment.
What I recently learned is like there's a reason that God, and I love, and actually you guys, if you want to watch it, it's a sermon by Pastor Michael Todd called Relationship Goals.
It's awesome!
8-week series, and one of the sermons he talks about is called Sex Container. And I love the way he broke it down because he said that God placed sex in the container of marriage because of how powerful it was.
It is. It's very powerful.
It's very powerful. So, you know, one thing, I love my brother. He always has these great analogies for how God works and how he does things. And one of the things that he said was, excuse me, we were talking about like coming to, like, I was talking to him about, I had a friend and I was telling him, you know, I wish there were things that people told me before I decided to live for Christ outside of celibacy. But I understand. I feel like there are things that need to be discussed, but I kind of understand why everybody's so scared to talk about stuff. Because realistically, if somebody would have told me, and I think this is how I would have perceived it at the time, but if they just would have rambled off a list of things you can't do,
I would have been like, I'm not doing it.
Serve him for what? But I had to change my perspective about it when I talked to my brother. He put it in a great way. He said, you can do everything, but it's with limits, like a parent. He said, just think about when you have a dog in the backyard and it is like chained to the tree, but the chain is long enough to go around the whole yard. He can do whatever he wants to do within that fence, and that fence is there to protect him from what's on the outside of it. So same thing comes with living for Christ, and same thing comes with sex and marriage. In that fence, it goes down. And I feel like people get this picture of marriage for like, sex and marriage is so boring, and you can't do this, you can't do that. No.
You can do whatever you want in that.
The marriage bed is undefiled, y'all.
You can do whatever you
Which
desire.
means y'all could turn the freak show out all day. And Jesus gonna be there like, yeah!
You can do whatever you want.
He's
but my
gonna
whole thing is, and it's something I heard another pastor say, he said, you want to be able to park your car in the right garage, because that person at that garage need to know how to care for you outside of your sexual needs. And now, if we all think about we having sex with people who don't even care about your well-being, they don't care about how you felt earlier because you were depressed, they don't care about how you felt because you didn't get the job, they don't care how you felt because you haven't reached your goals, they don't care about none of that.
A lot of us having sex with people who don't even want you to spend the night. They, like,
they don't even care what your real name, they don't even know your middle name.
Your last name at that. Like, if something happens...
They don't know your birthday. If somebody don't know your birthday, it's a problem.
I'm sorry, but if somebody don't know your last name, like, think about it like this.
You're going to miss
the person who you last had sex with. If you were to fall out and have a heart attack or something in their house with no identification on you whatsoever, and the ambulance had to come and they had to give them your information, could they at least say her name is Crystal Blank? Like...
Most people know him as Kiki.
I'm about to say, do they even know your real name?
Most people don't even know your real name.
That's your mother named you. Because they calling you something and don't even know that's your middle name and not your first name.
Yep, because you don't like your first name.
Because you don't like your first name. Do they know your mama name? Do they know your mama name?
Do they don't know your password to your phone to call your mama?
Right, your phone.
Your phone line.
They can't even call your mama.
They can't call
nobody.
That's dangerous, y'all.
It's very dangerous.
That's very, very dangerous.
And we don't even realize the danger. I put myself in some dangerous situations.
Me too.
So...
I should be dead.
I should be dead.
I should be kidnapped, sent to a whole nother country.
Celibacy really saved my life. I have gone to people's houses I didn't know. I have gone to people's cars. I have met up with people.
I did it.
Like, met you for the first time and had sex with you.
I met people online.
I have met,
Done all that.
I met a guy online, went to his house.
How done it?
Hey, you look like the picture on the picture. Oh, let's do this. Like,
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous, y'all.
So dangerous.
It's dangerous.
Even the ones, and let's really talk about the fact that you've been having herpes. Most of us have this because it was somebody in a relationship with us. It's in there.
You're actually closer.
But yeah, so with that being said, guys, like, you thought you were safe in your relationship and you wasn't. You wasn't. Even if you're married, you thought you were safe in your relationship. You wasn't, because your partner decided they're going to step out on you. Or, quote unquote, your partner did not even know. Let's talk about that too, because that happens a lot too. Yeah. So with that being said, guys, it's just very vital that we understand sex is just not don't do the thing. No, it's something that is life and death. Or right even now.
The aspect of me knowing. Yeah. Because in my case, I knew the guy that I was dating when. The guy that I got herpes from, I knew he had herpes. He told me. He was very upfront about it. He told me when he found out we were dating, and he found out while we were dating, and he told me, and I decided I was okay with it. I accepted it because I was head over heels in love. I saw a future with this person. However, of course, this is outside the context of marriage. Just because I saw a future with this person and thought that there was going to be a marriage,
it was nothing.
There was no marriage. I have herpes. We don't speak to each other. So it's just certain things. And not that I regretted or have any ill will or feelings about it. I knew what I was getting myself into. But had I been inside of that container of marriage, none of that would even matter.
Y'all wouldn't care. It don't matter. We're here now. It's like, it's death do us part for real.
Death do us part. It's done. And that also takes away, like, we both went through phases where we felt like we had to stay with each other because of that.
And you don't.
And we don't. You do not have to stay in a relationship with somebody just because you either accept them with herpes. You're not doing them a favor, and vice versa. If they've accepted you with herpes, they are not doing you a favor.
Yeah. You will get, and I'm going to be honest, it doesn't make a difference. A relationship is a relationship, and if a person want to cheat on you, they're going to choose you with herpes, without herpes, with a leg, without a leg. They don't care, fine or not fine. They will still cheat on you. So don't think just because you got herpes, you're going to get some remorse.
Or just because you accepted it, because I'll be honest, there was a period in that relationship where after I accepted it, I was like, at least you're not going to cheat on me.
Lies.
That means nothing.
That is
lies.
That is a lie. And it happens all the time.
Because I felt like I was the only one who was going to accept it. Like, I'm the only one who's...
Lies.
And never did I throw it in his face, but that was my mindset. Please do not accept or tell somebody you're accepting. That's not... First of all, it's not accepting them.
You don't accept them.
That's not manipulation. That's manipulation. Mm-hmm. But please do not go into a relationship either call yourself accepting somebody or have them accepting you with that mindset. It does not work.
The relationship is not going to last.
It is not... It's manipulative.
It's manipulative. It's not going to work.
It is selfish.
It's very, and that's why I keep telling y'all, accept yourself. And that's why it's very vital for y'all to be single. So that is this next whole part we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about singleness. So I'm happy y'all watched our first piece. And we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the single piece and dating piece of herpes. I really want to get that celibacy out because at the end of the day, we are struggling in this. Christian women, we are struggling and we are failing. We are failing because we're not talking.
Quick question. Mm-hmm. Which one do you find it hard? Well, I think for both of us, it's probably the same thing. Harder to tell a guy that you're celibate or that you have herpes?
I really haven't had to tell nobody I was celibate.
Whoa, that's a whole other video.
Yeah, I haven't had to say that because I made that decision. I made that decision a little bit later, which we're going to explain that in the next video. So we love y'all. Make sure you watch the next video. Bye.